Derek takes up the story.
Hello, my name is Derek Johnston and I played in 1972 when Rangers beat Moscow Dynamo in Barcelona. I was centre half that night, playing alongside Dave Smith. That was the first time the two of us had actually played alongside each other. I couldn't believe it, the amount of supporters. I mean, they said there was 25,000 at the game, but there was also ones that travelled that actually didn't have enough money to pay for a ticket and were outside. There may be another few thousand outside as well, but the build-up to it was fantastic. We saw videos of them, and they were a decent side. And as Jock said, look, he says they're nice with the ball, but there's no passion in their play. There's no fire in their bellies like we've got. He says, so we've got that over them, and if you've got that, and we'll play at all, there's every chance we can get a result here tonight. And that's what we did right from the first minute.
And towards Steen. It's Colin Steen, and Rangers have taken the lead.
It was a fantastic experience. As I say, Davy Smith and I played for the first time, and the words that he said to me just as we ran onto the pitch, he said, listen, he says, just go for everything. He says, try and get in front of the man if it's on the ground, go and attack it in the air, because if you miss it, I'll be at your back. And for a young lad in there, that was great news for me, which meant that I didn't have to think about things. I just did it, because I knew he was always at my back. And that's why I thought he was the man of the match. Set up 2 goals, remember, going forward.
This Smith has been most impressive in this first half. Johnson! It's a second goal for Rangers. It's Willie Johnson.
And I think we put them off their stride, because if you allow teams like that to play in these days, they passed you off the park. And we certainly didn't allow them to do that, because we were in and about them, and that was it. And when we had the chances, we had to take them. We only created probably 4 chances in that game, but we scored 3 times.
Good Rangers in their 3rd European final, be on their way to their 1st silverware. It's another huge clearance, and here's Johnston. It's 3-0 now to Rangers.
It was just a wonderful, wonderful experience, and to see the Rangers fans who hadn't won anything for a long time, you know, smiling after the game. Well, I saw them smiling 3 or 4 times when they came on the pitch, thinking the game was over. But you know, it was just a wonderful. I'm only 18 years of age, you know, and for a young lad at that age, getting in it, playing in a European final and winning was something a bit special.
And that is it. Rangers have won here in Barcelona. It's another pitch invasion. You can understand the Rangers supporters' enthusiasm. Now they're winners of the European Cup Winners' Cup.
Certainly, it got us noticed. Even to this day, we still have, you know, we're a 25th anniversary, a 30th, a 40th, and now a 50th. So everybody remembers being a winner.
Are you reeling in the years? Stowing away the cash.
Wow, some heroes that night for Rangers. 2 goals for the controversial but charismatic Willie Johnston. Colin Steen banged in a ferocious first. He'd scored a hat-trick in 4 minutes on his Rangers debut. And the captain, John Gregg, who played with a broken foot that night and who now has a statue outside Ibrox. And Charlie Adam, he's here tonight in Seville. John Gregg, he's part of that heritage and history, a huge part of Rangers Football Club. He's one of those who's issued a message to the fans to say, make sure you have a great time, but please behave and remember who you represent.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm fortunate enough to know John through when I was growing up at the football club, and he was always in and around it, and to be able to lean on that experience that he produced, you know, over the years, the greatest ever Ranger. He's got a statue outside the stadium. It was amazing for me personally, but these lads will be looking to go one better and to top that tonight. And no, he's a massive figure in the football club, and he's still in there, you know, most weeks, or probably every week at every home game, being at the football club.
He is a true legend, and it's good to see the current squad, the current players, really giving a respectful nod to the history and heritage and the individuals from Rangers past as well. It's a big thing with this current Rangers squad. And listen, tell me what it would mean to Rangers as a football club, bearing in mind, you know, where they were 10 years ago, what happened to them 10 years ago, but also in the fact that it's been 50 years since that Cup Winners' Cup.
Well, listen, it'd be an iconic moment in the club's history. Like you say, the previous 10 years have been up and down, you know, rocky roads, but they're in a great place at the moment with the owner and Ross Wilson running the football department. So I think this will just be the next stage of what they want to do in the football club. And automatically, every player wants to play in the Champions League. That is the top of the pinnacle of your football career at club level, is playing in the Champions League. So if these lads get an opportunity to do that next season by winning this Europa League tonight, you know, they'll become heroes. And then obviously the money men upstairs, they'll be thinking about the finances. And if Rangers can win this tonight, then it will propel this football club and back into Europe and being able to have finances to bring in better players and improve the squad for next season.
Win this and it is Champions League. Frankfurt players have made their way off after their warm-up. The Rangers players are still out there, very, very hot out there at pitch level. The sun has gone, which is a bonus for those Rangers players. It was blazing, Rangers fans as well. It was blazing straight onto the fans, but that has now gone. Floodlights are on here as well. Let's go back to 2008 when you were in the squad for that UEFA Cup final for Rangers. It was a very different Rangers team. There was very little adventure. With the greatest of respect, it was a team that was built to try and keep clean sheets, wasn't it?
That's what got us to the final. But you know, this Rangers team have lost five games coming to this final so far this season. But like you say, I think there's more flair and attacking ability in this team going forward. And you know, at this moment, just before the warm-up, the lads that are starting the game are just doing the final sprints and getting ready to come in. But as a substitute, just standing there, taking the whole atmosphere in and enjoying the moment in the case. But you know, that's it. The preparation's done. The lads are now just walking down the tunnel, and it's over to them now. You know, got 10-15 minutes to prepare for the match. And then once you're over that line, you know, you're hoping that your best players on the night can turn up.
Well, Frankfurt haven't lost a game in this run, so they are the ones to beat. That's what they would say. And looking at the scene now, the Frankfurt fans, all in white, have got their black and white. That's their home kit, the first kit. They've got their black and white scarves above their heads, and the Frankfurt fans in the middle of the Rangers fans, because they are mixed up opposite us and away to our right. They've got their black and white scarves above their heads as well. Quite the sight, Charlie, isn't it?
It's brilliant. And like you said, Adrian, it's important that they can mix and they can have a friendly bit of banter. You know, and it's a wonderful display so far from the Frankfurt fans, all in white with black and white scarves above their head. And you know, we're looking forward to the UEFA's display before the game as well. But this is a cracker. You know, undefeated, to go through the whole tournament undefeated and get to the final. It's an unbelievable achievement from Frankfurt so far.
It means they're due a defeat.
Exactly. And hopefully tonight on the biggest stage for them, and hopefully it can happen.
But were players nervous? Back to 2008, were players nervous? Was it? Do you sense we sensed a calm in the press conference with Gio and the players who were up for the press conference as well, Tavernier and Ryan Jack? There seemed to be a calm. Was there more of a nervousness about 2008? Is there a difference, do you think?
No, because we had a proper leader in Walter Smith. He was a calming influence in the dressing room, you know, relaxed, and just said, lads, you were born for this. What this football club's all about, playing in big games. And these lads will say, listen, we understand it's a Europa League final, but they've played in big moments so far over their careers in this for this club. And you know, the Dortmund game is a big game. Leipzig, Braga. You know, they've had big results in Europe over the years since Rangers started to get back into Europe regularly. So, no, it is a final. There's a trophy to be won, and hopefully these Rangers players can come out the other side and by lifting it.
Of course, Rangers lost 2-0 that night in Manchester to Zenit St Petersburg, managed by Dick Advocaat, who was the last Dutchman to manage a Europa League winning side. Rangers are managed by a Dutchman.
Yeah, listen. Hopefully that's written in the stars. 50 years since Barcelona, 150 years history anniversary for the football club this season, and what a way to cap this season off by winning the Europa League. And since I've seen you on Monday, I've been so confident. I think Rangers can win this because of the performances I know they've produced in Europe this season.
Well, the Rangers fans giving it the LA. They did it earlier, and they started with, remember the Icelandic fans doing the hand clap in 2016? They started with that, but singing this song at the same time, and it was an incredible crescendo that they built to, the Rangers fans. And here they are making their noise in numbers again after Frankfurt did their thing. Rangers doing their thing with 15 minutes to go until kick-off. The substitutes have cleared the pitch. The sprinklers are on. Pitch is perfect. Absolutely perfect here in Seville, by the way. And we're going to bring you live commentary of Eintracht Frankfurt against Rangers in the 2022 Europa League final on TalkSport.
Hey, friend. Nothing like a busy day, week, month, last 5 minutes, life to work up an appetite. makes you want to hit up Just Eat for your favourite McDonald's, Costa Coffee, Greg's, ZZ, Starbucks, German Doner Kebab, Queen's, KFC, Taco Bell, Subway. No worries, we got it. We got it. We got it.
Did somebody say Just Eat?
Participating stores only. See justeat.co.uk for details.
Next customer, please. Guess what? I got paid more this month. That's because from the 1st of April, the national living wage and the national minimum wage both went up. The extra money is helpful, especially these days. Make sure you get paid the right amount. You can check your pay and find out more at gov.uk/check your pay. It's your right. And the law.
Oh, come on! You stuck in a jam? Looking for the most competitive insurance policy for your courier van? Well, look no further than Adrian Flux. Because at Adrian Flux, we tailor-make the policy for you. Policies that are as individual as you are. So whether it's a courier van or you need a competitive insurance policy for all kinds of vans and commercial vehicles, visit adrianflux.co.uk today and see why we were voted What Van Insurer of the Year 2021. Beat that. Adrian Flux. Insurance for the individual.
When it comes to quality paints, Valspar Trade delivers on all fronts. With its advanced water-based technology, Valspar Trade is easy to apply, with a Class 1 scrub rating, stain resistance and the perfect spray consistency. Right now, there's 20% off our ready-mix paints at your local Trade Point. Plus, if you have a Trade Point loyalty discount, you'll get this on top. So there's never been a better time to try Valspar Trade. Valspar Trade, formulated for the perfect finish. Offer available until 26th of May, only from Trade Point at B&Q and online. Visit valspartrade.co.uk for more details.
Streaming on Now. New true crime drama, The Staircase.
My wife, she had an accident. She fell down the stairs.
Starring Colin Firth.
We stick together and we love each other.
And Toni Collette.
I'm tired all the time. I need help.
Do you really think Kathleen Peterson really knew who her husband was?
Stream The Staircase weekly. Now.
I think there are not many families like us.
18 plus now, membership required, minimum speed 2.5 megabytes per second, terms apply.
The season may have started in August, but it's made for May. Made for one more unexpected twist and one final turn. And it's made for the very best offers from 888 Sport. Like the £5 free bet you'll get when you bet £20 within a week on accumulators or bet builders with 888 Sport's ACCA Club. Available every week. 888 Sport. It's made to play. 18 plus. For full terms and conditions, visit 888sport.com, begambleaware.org.
Heart thumping, fist pumping, seat jumping, snack munching action on TalkSport with Deliveroo. Listen to Game Day Drive this Friday from 4 for mouthwatering speculation and analysis ahead of the league's final weekend. Plus, identify the TalkSport Matchday mystery player's voice and you could win a £250 Deliveroo voucher. Get your Matchday favourites delivered from restaurants including KFC, Five Guys and Papa John's with Deliveroo. Download the app to order now. Deliveroo. Food, we get it. Geographical restrictions, service and delivery fees apply.
The UEFA Europa League final. Rangers versus Eintracht Frankfurt.
What a goal that is!
Live on TalkSport.
What an atmosphere inside this stadium here in Seville with just over 10 minutes to kick off. And Charlie, Adam and I have been in Spain since Monday evening and we've witnessed just how good the Rangers fans have been. I was out in Malaga with a load of Rangers fans on Monday night. Charlie and I were in Seville yesterday with Rangers fans, and here they are again in mass numbers inside the stadium, and what a noise they've been making. You know what, Charlie, I don't think that we praise these Rangers fans enough to come over. Well over 100,000 fans have come to Seville for this. Not all of them in here, of course, but they've also behaved themselves, and I think that they've really set an example and shown the club in a great light so far. It's been fantastic from the Rangers faithful.
That was the worry before the game and the build-up. You know, they obviously got big influential people in the football club to talk about it and trying to get them, and they've respected it so far, and hopefully they get that reward with a wonderful result. But listen, Rangers fans will always be there. They've been there through thick and thin, and they will always be there in the future. It's just a memorable moment to actually even be here to commentate on it and be part of this, you know, European campaign that they've had, and hopefully they can top it off with a win.
It is extraordinary to be here to witness these fans, and I'm pretty sure that noise will be coming across loud and clear from the Rangers fans as the UEFA they're getting their flags out onto the pitch. They're having their kind of pre-match entertainment, as it were, but it's kind of being lost a little bit on the fans who just want to sing their songs and enjoy themselves. And the fans have been a big thing at Ibrox, Charlie Adam. They have really spurred the team on to score goals. They've scored backs of goals at Ibrox and to win games as well. They really have had an influence, and it looks like, I was fearing because this isn't at Ibrox, that influence wouldn't be there. It looks like it will be there.
Yeah, Adrian, it looks like there's more Rangers fans in here than there's Frankfurt fans. So can they use that to their advantage? Can they have that support and give them, the energy to go when things get tough? Because at times Frankfurt will have spells in the game. They'll be under the pressure, and it's important that Rangers can ride that out, and these fans need to keep backing them. It's tough, it's still humid, it's late at night, but it's still humid, and it will take a lot out of the legs. So it's important that these Rangers fans, even if they go a goal behind, keep supporting your team and get the boys over the line.
Well, those taking part in this ceremony from UEFA have got what look like lightsabers in red and white, or orange and white, on the pitch as the trophy is being brought out. The Europa League trophy is being brought out onto the pitch. It'll be put onto a plinth at the side of the pitch, being brought down some steps at the moment. There it is, that shiny piece of silverware they all want to get their hands on. And out it comes onto the pitch. That's what you're playing for tonight, as it's lifted high into the air. That's what you're playing for tonight. And even on top of that, you've got a place in the Champions League as well next season. What a prize on offer here in Seville tonight for both Rangers and for Eintracht Frankfurt. The trophy is left there. The players will see it as they come out, and that will have an impact. As the lights are slightly dimmed, it means the lights on the pitch, being held by those taking part in the ceremony, are standing out brighter. They're lifted horizontally above heads, and these guys are all in a triangle, all in white. It's a bit Frankfurt biased, on the pitch, and now the dancing takes place. To be honest with you, the singing has been more impressive than the dancing, in my opinion, Charlie Adam. Am I being harsh?
Yeah, no, it's part of what UEFA do, and they try and prevent the game as well as they can to the final and be joyous. But listen, this Rangers fans have been here long into the day, and it's important that they keep singing and enjoying themselves, and hopefully they can do it.
Flamethrowers on the far side of the pitch. The Eintracht Frankfurt fans have all been given flags with the crest on, and they're holding those high, and that looks seriously impressive. And you've got to praise Frankfurt and their fans, the organisation. It looks magnificent. It's clearly a white wall around that end of the ground and swirling round into the corner. That's all. There's no Rangers fans in that bit, Charlie.
No, it's brilliant, and that's what football's all about. You see a lot of clubs are doing this now, and you were obviously at the semi-final against Leipzig, and the display that they had of about the 72 team that actually won the trophy. The names were on a big banner, and it was an unbelievable display. But this from the Frankfurt fans has been sensational, and it's great, and that's what part of football is, an entertainment.
The flamethrowers are actually cooling it down a little bit, which is great. I mean, let's point out, we mentioned it earlier, but it's worth pointing out again, there are quite large, sizable sections of this stadium where there are both Rangers and Frankfurt fans sitting together, sitting side by side. In fact, I was watching some Rangers fans went over to a group of Frankfurt fans long before kickoff. It was about 45 minutes ago now, and they were like just chatting away. There was no animosity. Stephen had the binoculars out. I was watching it. It was all handshakes and good luck and all that. Let's hope it stays that way. Let's hope there's no controversy. Let's hope that the best team wins, and there's nothing that could get the crowd riled up in any way whatsoever. But I don't think I've seen this for a long time, where with so much at stake, Charlie, you've got fans of both clubs sitting next to each other as the club crests are unfurled on the pitch in front of us. That's why there's the big cheer. What an impressive sight that is. Rangers to the left in front of the Rangers fans, and the Frankfurt banner to the right, that crest to the right in red in front of their fans, who have their white flags still held high. They're trying to unfurl a flag in the Frankfurt section. It's not quite coming off at the moment. It may do at some point, but Rangers and Frankfurt fans mixing, I think it's one of the most beautiful things I've seen all season.
Yeah, I think it's respect that, listen, the two best teams I think of I've been in the Europa League all season, played the best, you got the big results, and to come here, and I think it's good, like you say, respect each other, and that's a big thing I've been talking about UEFA. They talk about respect, and they're going to do that, and hopefully we get an entertaining match.
Well, the lightsabers they were all carrying, they got into such a position that it spelled out the word Seville. Now that's clever.
Yeah,
that is clever.
A lot of ideas going to these European trophies, and we're here tonight, and then obviously off to the Champions League in the 28th of May as well, so it's going to be phenomenal.
Got a playoff final in between that, love that. And this flag has been unfurled away to our right. It's absolutely massive. I mean, it goes from the very top of the top tier and drapes over the hoarding on the bottom tier.
Yeah, I was reading today that they were it took 7 trucks to bring all these displays over from Germany. Seven trucks. But you can see why, everything that's coming over. And obviously this is the big display of what they have at their stadium in Germany. But no, it's a wonderful display.
It really is, as they start to clear the green grass, getting ready for the final, which is meant to be in 5 minutes' time. There's a lot of clearing up to do on the pitch, and a lot of people to get off the pitch, and some really important people to get on the pitch before that happens. Rangers are in the tunnel, getting ready to go out while they clear this pitch. Let me tell you that in 10 days' time we will be in Paris for live commentary of the Champions League final as Liverpool take on Real Madrid, and we'll know if Liverpool will still be fighting for a quadruple by then. The very best coverage of the final day of the Premier League season this Sunday across the TalkSport network, and you may well be needing the TalkSport app for that. Download it for free. It's easy to use. Here in Seville, it's hot, it's about to get hotter, and Rangers are about to join us. The ball boys all line up. The dancers carrying the lightsabers are still out there on the pitch, and it's quite the sight. They're all lined up on the pitch. They look absolutely magnificent, actually, ready to welcome the players onto the pitch. And here they come. Here come Frankfurt and Rangers for the Europa League final. They're just leaving the tunnel here in Seville, and they'll be heading out onto the pitch for a crescendo of noise. Rangers down below us to the left. Well, there's James Tavernier, Europa League's top scorer. He dives to the left, he dives to the right. Keeper Alan McGregor, he's 40. Calvin Bassey playing in front of him, just 22. There's the best on earth, John Lundstrom. Is he going to win them the Europa League? Does he know what that's worth? Ryan Kim will tear you apart again, playing in royal blue. Rangers through and through, putting on a show for you. These players have been super troopers on this Europa League run. They've made many dreams come true already. The message to these Rangers legends is this: one more time for the 100,000 who made the journey to Seville, for the thousands back in Glasgow, and the millions more around the world. Make us dream. One more time, Rangers. Make us dream. It's Rangers against Eintracht Frankfurt in the Europa League final, and it's live on TalkSport with a man who scored goals in Europe for Rangers, Charlie Adam, alongside your commentator on TalkSport, Jim Proudfoot.
Thank you, Adrian, and a very good evening to you. The culmination of a remarkable Rangers decade. The journey has been unimaginable. From Andy Little scoring a stoppage time equaliser at Peterhead in the first match of a fourth-tier campaign in August 2012, to a defeat that decide rock bottom of the league, through 3 promotions, a title, and now a remarkable European campaign. From Sterling to Seville, it's been extraordinary. That they'd arrived at this night of nights, inconceivable 10 years ago. But it has come to pass. 50 years to the week after the Jersey previous win on Spanish soil saw them playing the European Cup Winners' Cup. They have the chance to become the first Scottish team to lift continental silverware for a second time. Will James Tavernier emulate John Gregg? There are tens of thousands of Glaswegians in town who will present a pretty compelling case. Well, in Eintracht Frankfurt, they face a side full of enigma, and not for the first time. It's Eintracht who are on the wrong end of Di Stefano and Puskás, scoring 7 between them on a famous night at Hampden in the 1960 European Cup final. A match they reached by twice putting 6 past Rangers in the semis. Remarkably, Eintracht haven't been back to the European Cup since. They almost folded 20 years ago. They've been more used to bombing up and down between the top 2 divisions in Germany over the last generation. and they haven't come close to emulating last season's top 5 finish, but they have reserved their best performances for Europe, where they're still unbeaten, having seen off Barcelona and West Ham in the last 2 rounds. They ended the season in the bottom half of the Bundesliga table, and they now face a Rangers side who've already dispatched 2 of Germany's top 4. Well, these are the sides that have been named tonight. Rangers have 40-year-old Alan McGregor in goal, making a club record 104th European appearance, more than 20 years after he made his debut for the club against Forfar. It's a back 4 of Tavernier, Goldson, Batty and Barisic. In midfield, Lundstrom, Jack and Kamara. Up front, Wright, Aribo and Kent. Eintracht have Trapp in goal, Toure, Tuta and Ndika. Now Roda, Sau and Kostic, Lindstrom and Kamada, and Boré up front. Still, those white flags being waved vigorously by the Eintracht supporters away to our right. A little bit more still and calm, if such a thing were possible, immediately before a European final in the Rangers end. But one big Rangers flag is being proudly waved in the Andalusian breeze away to our left. Players take the knee before kick-off. A reminder, there is no room for racism. Well, a European campaign that started with Champions League elimination at Malmö, a nervy win over Armenian opposition, and then back-to-back defeats in the Europa League group stage. But from an inauspicious start, will a glorious finish emerge? Tonight, a night to seize opportunity and make history. And Rangers, as they were in their victorious European final 50 years ago, in all blue, and they kick from left to right in this first half. Eintracht in all white, their changed kit with black trim, and alongside me, former Rangers and Scotland man Charlie Adam. Good evening to you, Charlie.
Evening, Jim. Great start to the game, just great atmosphere, brilliant to be here, and hopefully it lives up to the hype that yourself and Adrian have given it. So we look forward to it, and at Frankfurt have started on the front foot a little bit, got a little bit of possession, and back to the goalie and kicks it long.
And it bounces over the head of Bassi. Eintracht are able to pick it up and just work it down towards the left-hand side for Kostic, and the ball then deflecting off goes out of play for a throw that will be taken on the Rangers' right. Early touch of the ball for Gio van Bronckhorst, who just controlled the miss-hit pass. Gio won the Champions League back in 2006. More than 100 games as a player for Rangers, as well as his time at Barca and Arsenal and Feyenoord as well, all of which stands him in good stead to try and make his mark in Rangers history tonight. Here's Lundstrom heading the ball forward. It's returned by the Eintracht captain Roda, just heading it down through the midfield. An opportunity for Kamada to be able to play it forward. Rangers able to get on the end of it, but then works it out towards the right-hand side. Nav will be able to bring it right-footed in towards the edge of the penalty area. Kostic has made his way forward. Slightly heavy first touch went behind him, but he's able to pick it up and fizz in one of those trademark left-footed crosses. But Rangers able to easily get it clear with Jack. He loses out as it's played forward, and now another opportunity for Kostic to deliver. High left-footed steepling ball towards the far post, headed down by Nav. Kamada tried to work it in. Bassi got in the way of that. Miscued shot from Lindstrom on the edge of the penalty area. Header away comes from the Rangers back line again. It was Wright that got it clear, and then Tavernier will be able to find touch and just allow Rangers the opportunity to regroup behind the ball. Good early pressure from Eintracht, but a couple of minutes in the 2022 Europa League final, it is still 0-0 on TalkSport.
Yeah, you can see they're trying to get Kostic and enough up on the right hand side, high and wide, to get a lot of crosses. Obviously Kostic's top assists this season with 5 for Frankfurt, so he's going to be a danger against Tavernier. It's important that Tavernier doesn't overcover and allow him too much time and space to put crosses in.
Lindstrom losing out in the midfield. It's difficult when you've got a Lindstrom and a Lundstrom playing. That was Lindstrom of Eintracht. And here is John Lundstrom in his yellow boots for Rangers. He's playing it back for Goldson. He's 60-odd European games behind him in a Rangers shirt. Now just works it back behind square for Bassi. Long left-footed ball forward from him, but not to good effect. Easily headed out by Torre in the midfield. Roda, blonde-haired Eintracht captain, can help it on, but not effectively. Tavernier has it. Play forward through the midfield. Lovely turn by Wright, and an opportunity to try and break. Now Rebo has it on the edge of the penalty area, twisting back inside. Couldn't get himself into a shooting position. Coming across the cover is the French defender Ndika. And it's a throw which Rangers will take down by the corner flag.
Brilliant pass from Tavernier into Wright. He takes Ndika on the opposite side, outside his foot, goes by him, no problem. Plays a nice pass to Rebo, and he tries to cut back on his left and chop there, but the defender comes over and covers. He maybe should have had a wee shot with his right side there.
Kemal Roof on the bench again for Rangers today. He is back from injury after missing so many games. Here's Tavernier, gets to the right-hand side and whacks across in about 5 times as hard as he needed to. The adrenaline coursing through the veins.
Yeah,
he got there on the byline as he's looking for the far post. He found not only the far post, he almost found the stand on the far side.
Yeah, no, he just opposite side of the pitch. It was a good little play. He just dinked over the 2 defenders and was in a great position. Normally he'd hang it up there, but too much power on it and ends up going out for a throw. But Rangers have regained possession from the throw.
Yeah, Tudor giving the ball away, just passing straight at Lundstrom in the midfield. Goldston looking long. Plenty gravitating for Rangers down to Tavernier on the right flank at the moment. Still 0-0 here in Seville. Tavernier trying to flick the ball over the top again. So coming back, the Swiss midfielder can clear. Lundstrom seizes upon it. His boot raised though as he just tried to flick it past Roda, and he seems to have caught him. And there's an angry reaction from the Eintracht substitutes, who are claiming that it should at the very least be a yellow card for dangerous play against John Lundstrom. Roda was down and seemed to be in some distress as he was lying with one hand on his face and the other being waved frantically to try and alert the Eintracht medical team that he needed some attention. We're just seeing another view of it. He did just get caught a little bit, but seemingly not quite as much as he was making out. Maybe flicked by the studs on the top of the head, no more than that.
Yeah, no, it's listen, Lundstrom does brilliant to read the pass and maybe just a little bit of a headed touch past the captain Roda, and unfortunately just probably caught him there, but he's got a bit of a cut on his head, so he obviously he's got a bit of a gash there. So listen, Rangers have started better. First couple of minutes Frankfurt had a bit of possession, but Rangers I'll be delighted with these little breaks. Calm the game down, get energy in, and a little bit of a drink to take the sting out of Frankfurt's start to the game.
Already the opportunity to get some fluid on board for those Rangers players. Temperatures have been about 36, 37 in the shade today, but as Adrian was saying, with just a little bit of wispy cloud cover and the sun having gone down, and we're very much in southern Spain here, so it is going to set much earlier than it does in Britain. It's not nearly as hot now, as prohibitively hot as it was earlier in the day. The road is still down, receiving that treatment, and this is a concern as far as Eintracht are concerned. There is a little bit of blood. It's just needed to be maybe stitched up, a couple of butterfly stitches in there to try and sort him out. Don't forget, when we're done in here in Seville, it's going to be your time to have your Sound National ready on the Sports Bar tonight. Jason Cundy, Jamie O'Hara taking your calls on 03717223344. We got more live football for you tomorrow. The Premier League relegation battle in full focus. Villa against Burnley kicks off at 8. And we've got news of Everton against Crystal Palace and Chelsea-Leicester as well. Also tomorrow night, the League 2 playoff semi-final second leg between Port Vale and Swindon. And talking of League 2 playoff semi-finals, Northampton against Mansfield underway right now. That game is over on TalkSport 2. If you've got the TalkSport app, you can just seamlessly swipe between one and the other. Well, it looks as though Jankic is potentially getting ready to come on if necessary to replace Roda. If this cut is so bad that he can't continue, he's still lying on his back just outside the penalty area. And we've only seen, we're 7.5 minutes in, we've only seen about 3.5 minutes of action. So how does this affect you as a player when you have a significant stoppage like this as early as this?
No, sometimes it's good when you're under a wee bit of pressure just to take the sting out of the game, and Rangers were under a bit of pressure, but obviously this opportunity of the cut come from Rangers getting good pressure on Lundstrom, taking a little bit of a heady touch, but it's important that Road is okay, and Jakic is obviously warming up quite fast. I think the coach Glasner is signalling to him to be ready in case that he can't make it. But no, sometimes it's this early in the game, it's nice just to have a wee bit of a break and regroup and talk to your coach.
But already a couple of positive moments for players who've never played in European finals before. Clearly you can appreciate what it's likely to feel like, but you can never, I would imagine, come close to being able to get your head around how it is going to feel. So for the likes of Tavernier, who's shown a good couple of touches early, a real good important settler at the start of the game.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's important at the back, guys. You know, it's 2v1 up there, Goldson and Bassey against Bora. It's important that at times that they just play amongst each other to suck the Frankfurt defence up a little bit and trying to use that little space for where Wright and Kent can come and play and get, you know, turned and look forwards.
Well, the good news is that Roda is okay. He's going to be able to continue. He's having to change his shirt. He's having a little bit of blood wiped off his back. He's got a big white and blue bandage now around the top of his blonde hair, but he is going to be able to come back on in a moment. Play resumes belatedly, a stoppage of a good 4.5 minutes. Ball driven forward from the back by Tuta, the Brazilian centre-half for Eintracht, but it goes all the way through for Alan McGregor. And the roar of approval is from the Eintracht supporters away to our right-hand side as Roda makes his way back onto the field. He's a very experienced player, his second spell with the club, former Dortmund man, who Pep one side from Bayern Munich. The ball is played forward over the top. It was chased there by Ryan Kent, just given a little shove towards the edge of the penalty area, but Slavko Vincic, the referee, says no foul. Ball cleared by Trapp, headed on through the midfield by Boré for Eintracht, down towards the right-hand side for Lindstrom, but he loses out. Kent again in possession, trying to turn, and wins a free kick. So was on his toes really quickly, and Kent's turn was too quick for him. Free kick to Rangers, about 15 yards inside the Eintracht half. 10 gone, 0-0.
Yeah, no, Rangers get a bit of possession just because Lundstrom just dropped into that right back position there, hit a long, beautiful diagonal over the top of Toure, and was nudged by Kent was nudged, by Toure, but it wasn't a foul. He done brilliant there to get good feet, and so had to foul him. And Rangers, poor ball by Olsen.
Trying to launch it forward. It's all about who wins the seconds, and to Lindstrom's credit, the Bundesliga Young Player of the Year, it was him for Eintracht. But a high ball forward through the midfield is seized upon by Wright. Hasn't got it for long. An opportunity for Kostic to come forward. Turns inside away from Tavernier. They doubled up on him so quickly with Wright coming back, and then Tavernier can just toe poke it through the midfield. And an opportunity to get Glenn Kamara going, the Finnish international, taking it down towards the left-hand side, but he's fouled. No, referee says play on. And Toure can bring it forward. It's a high ball forward for Kamada. Kamada trying to turn, get it onto his right foot, trying to tiptoe his way through the penalty area. McGregor gets a foot to it. Goldson's clearance is poor, and then McGregor is able to make the save from So, who tried his luck from the edge of the penalty area. Rising drive with McGregor out of position, but the 40-year-old got back between the sticks in time. That was a nervy moment.
Yeah, Kamada gets into the box and gives a turn, but Goldson's got to do better. His clearance is poor to the edge of the box. And So hits a shot, but it was well covered by McGregor.
Barisic, the Croatian, in possession for Rangers on the left-hand side. Rangers runners-up in 2008 in this competition when they lost 2-0 to Zenit in Manchester, playing in their 5th European final tonight. No Scottish club has ever won this competition. No Scottish club has ever won 2 European trophies. What Rangers are trying to do this evening. Europa League dominated by Spanish clubs over the last decade, and when they haven't won it, it has been an English team that has been victorious, but won't be tonight. Ball played forward again by Lindstrom down the right-hand side for Eintracht. Break forward in their white shirts. Bassey's defended well, though. The former Leicester man just stood firm. A meteoric rise he has had from Leicester's academy through to a European final in next to no time. And as it's launched forward down the left-hand side, Aribo is fouled. And it's another free kick which will be taken on the Rangers left. 12 gone, 0-0.
Yeah, brilliant from Bassey. Strong, powerful, gets there. Aribo. That's what you need from your number 9. You need to get him up the pitch, to get Rangers up the pitch. He has to be able to get fouls, attract fouls. Brilliant. Morelos is brilliant at it, and allows Rangers to get up the pitch and take time. But it looks like Lundstrom is just trying to protect Kamada. At times, Bassey can go into midfield with the striker, and Lundstrom will just drop in.
Tavernier crosses it towards the edge of the penalty area. It's clear. So heads it away. Jack can't get there, but now coming forward from right wing back is very quickly dispossessed. And John Lundstrom calms things down, just dropping in, as Charlie was saying, now temporarily into this position on the right of three centre-halves, where he likes to just to drop deep and start play. And now we'll push forward again with the Rangers in possession with Bassey and Goldson, the deepest of the Gers outfield players, has got as much time on the ball as he wants. Down he comes for Tavernier. 7 goals in the knockout stages of this competition this season. It's been a remarkable run for James Tavernier. He scored in his last 3 games in all competitions. 18 for the season from right wing back. I know he takes a lot of penalties, but that is just an extraordinary return. Bassey out to Barisic. Kamara made an early run, but he needed it to be played first time. Barisic will now drive it forward. Torre was back goal side of Kamara to be able to head the ball away. Kamada, Japanese international, turning it down to the left for Kostic, straight back infield from him to So and out to Tuta, and now Knauf is going to be able to bring it forward. Lindstrom dropping off, trying to find a pocket of space around the edge of the penalty area. Cross comes in, very easily dealt with, but Rangers just taking their time in playing out from the back to get it away. Ball eventually ricocheting off Barisic back into Eintracht territory, and it'll be mopped up at the back by Ndicka. Still fantastic show from supporters of both teams. Very, very loud here at the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan in the centre of Seville tonight. The white flags still being waved with real gusto in the Eintracht end away to our right. Neither goalkeepers had a difficult save to make, a little bit cagey in a game that you wouldn't expect to finish 0-0 with both sides' defensive records, but you never know because of the heat and the humidity here whether that will just take a little bit of pace out of the game. But it's been played at a decent tempo so far.
Yeah, it has played at a decent tempo. You know, Frankfurt are playing the 3-4-2-1. At times Lundstrom just dropping with Kamada. I think obviously they think he's more of the danger player and dropping back into defence, but it's been a decent tempo to the game and rhythm, but the game will eventually slow down and hopefully that the Rangers can control the ball, because they just seem to want to keep giving it back to Frankfurt. Long pass there from Goldson straight.
Possession at the moment just and only just in Rangers' favour, but in terms of the attempts, they've all been at Alan McGregor's goal so far. The referee just playing the advantage there. Kamada went to ground. The referee says no foul. Play will go on down the left hand side. Ball play down towards Lindstrom. Bassey has followed him down to the left-hand side of the penalty area. Brilliant turn from Lindstrom. Lundstrom clears. Looks like he's going to go out of play for a corner. Bassey did well to prevent that happening and controlled it with his first touch and smacked it upfield with his second. He's lively, Lindstrom, the number 29. You can see why they were so keen to get him back after injury and in the side for tonight. He's going to cause a few problems.
Yeah, he has. He plays in that just off Bora. Him and Kamada just playing in that 2-double-10 position. Lundstrom doesn't really know where he's going. And at times the centre-back needs to step out and trust himself that he can come into midfield and deal with that situation. If he doesn't, then Rangers are going to have problems all night behind Jack.
Now Kamada playing it out towards Knauf, right hand side of the penalty area. Another important blocked cross from Barisic, who's able to get it away. But Eintracht will be able to come again. Ball in towards the feet of the edge of the penalty area. Boré stumbling. Ball ricocheted up, hit his hand. Lundstrom appealing for a free kick. Nothing given. Rangers win it back in the midfield with Kent. Flick forward here. Aribo knew that he was going to be offside. Couldn't play it. And coming back, Kostic works it back for his goalkeeper. Good awareness from Aribo, knowing he was offside, hoping that Wright was going to be able to get there to influence play, but he couldn't. Eintracht do have it, but they're deep inside their own penalty area. 17 gone. It's 0-0 on TalkSport Live from Seville tonight. We've got the Champions League final coming up a week on Saturday. From the Stade de France tonight, the Europa League final here in southern Spain. Rangers getting a good foothold in this game, and alongside me, the former Rangers South Scotland man Charlie Adam.
Yeah, just Frankfurt out of possession, 5-4-1, just allowing Rangers to have the ball. Lundstrom just dropping in between the two centre-backs, just giving Rangers a bit of possession. It's something that they need. They don't need to try and force it at the moment. Have a bit of possession, enjoy yourself, build your way into the game. It's a great pass there from Golson to Kent.
Now towards the corner flag. It's well picked up as well by Ryan Kent. Coming in off the left-hand touchline, lays it back. Barisic fizzes one in. Very difficult to control on the edge of the penalty area. Jack heading it back forward. Aribo trying to make something happen. Kamara is in there, but very calmly dealt with by So. Elegant ball-playing midfielder for Eintracht Frankfurt. And John Lundstrom has done really well. Has come back and just nipped the ball off the toes of Borre, the Colombian striker for Eintracht. And Rangers will be able to build again. When they can't get in positions around the edge of the Eintracht penalty area, it does look as though they're going to be able to make something happen. They just haven't been able to quite work the opportunities yet to work the keeper.
It's tight. The defence is tight because they're playing 5 at the back. Rangers might have to go on the outside because of, it's tight in midfield and in between that 3 defenders. So they're, Tavernier, they nearly broke there, Frankfurt, and Kostic done there, but Lundstrom done brilliant to get back and retrieve the ball.
It's going to be a throw which will be taken on the Eintracht left. They've only won 3 of the last 13 games coming into tonight. Away at Barcelona and home and away against West Ham. They've picked their moments. But they finished 11th out of 18 in the Bundesliga. They haven't won a league game since the middle of March. Here's Roda. It's about his first touch since he came back on after that head injury, and he's worked it wide towards the right-hand side for Knav. Knav making his way forward. What a save, McGregor. Well, it was alarmingly easy as Knav made his way, firstly on his right foot, then cut it onto his left. And he hit a drive towards the right-hand post, and McGregor's done really well. Got down, strong left hand to it to divert it wide for a corner. What a save.
Yeah, he did brilliant to work it from one side to the other, out to Naf. And he allows him, Barisic allows him too much space. That's his problem. Get tight. That's one of his problems defending 1v1. He doesn't get tight enough with defenders as a defender and go and put pressure on his winger he plays against. And he allows him inside, and Naf nearly scores, but McGregor there.
In comes the corner for Lindstrom, edge of the penalty area, mishit it, and then it's headed wide. Well, it's a really well-worked corner. They flooded the 6-yard box. Lindstrom just walked away almost disinterestedly towards the edge of the penalty area. He's played into him. He's put his right foot through it, but mistimed it. It's come off the top of his boot. So instead of being a shot, it's looped up towards the edge of the 6-yard box. And Ndicka, from a really good position, just heads it wide.
Yeah, it's a good set play. First corner they've had, and they've obviously worked on it. Rangers will have nobody on the edge of the box, and drops to Lindstrom. He'll be disappointed. You can see it in his face. He was disappointed in that. He probably at least should have hit the target.
Better opportunities falling for Eintracht at the moment. Lindstrom has it again. Still 0-0. Roda now for So with a right-footed effort over the bar. But it's now 5 opportunities without reply for Eintracht as we approach the midway stage of this first half.
Yeah, look, Rangers are trying to play out, and a risky ball there and from Golson, and it comes back to So, and he just delivers it. Unfortunately puts over the bar for them.
McGregor spots the ball down, just waits for his players to push upfield. McGregor, who's making his 104th appearance in European football for Rangers, 41 clean sheets. Both of those tallies, unsurprisingly, club records. All told, it's game number 468 for the club, the first of which more than 20 years ago.
Could it be his last? Normally he doesn't play in the Scottish Cup. John McLaughlin might play at the weekend, so this might be his last game for the football club, and what a way to go out if he does.
Well, it would be some way to go out, particularly if he's got a clean sheet against his name by the end of the night, or maybe the odd penalty save in a shootout. We'll see. Bassi firing it forward here, long for Rangers. McGregor's already made one outstanding save, and tipping that effort away round the post. Here's Touré at the back, 4-4 Sebastian Roda. Roda with the yellow captain's armband visible on the left sleeve of his shirt. Eintracht in all white, their fans in all white.
You can see now Lundstrom's just dropping back into that middle of the centre-back position. He's sort of just following Kamad everywhere he goes. If it's into midfield or up front, he's just trying to follow him to maybe a little bit of a man-marking job on him.
Barisic going back for his goalkeeper. And as Kamada comes back down towards this left-hand side, Lundstrom has followed him a great degree of the way. Ball played down towards the Rangers right for Jack. Jack back for Tavernier. Tavernier under pressure from Borre. Just got caught. And the referee just points to Tavernier, says, yep, I saw it. Play goes on. Barisic has it again. On the left flank. He's worked it back inside his own half for Bassi. Bassi controlling it, the Nigerian international, to former Brighton man Goldson. And back for Bassi again. Towards the edge of the penalty area. The edge of the centre circle, I beg your pardon. Then driven forward, left foot is a good ball as well. Into space. Kent chasing after it, almost able to turn again in past Torre. Couldn't quite. Rangers winning again in the midfield. And it's played back by Glenn Kamara. Out to the left flank. And Rangers just control things with Barisic. It's been a better spell of possession from them. Bassi working it forward. Chested down on the left-hand side by Kent. Former Liverpool man just working it back again for John Lundstrom. Calming things down in the midfield. Rangers playing at a measured tempo rather than anything electrifying, but that's understandable on a hot, humid night. Tavernier showed too much of it to Kostic. Wins it back though, as beginning to fall here in Andalusia. As McGregor drives it forward, the offside flag is up against a combination of Wright and Aribo, and it's a free kick taken by Eintracht. It's 0-0.
Listen, it was good play from Rangers, but Tavernier's just got to be a little bit sharper. You know, Aribo comes short, Wright goes there, and the pass was into Aribo's feet, and eventually dilly-dallied on it, and he ended up getting caught by Costas. So, you know, important that Tavernier ups his game and gets some more tempo to his passing.
Tuta's got it at the back. Oh, it's a lovely turn. Just drop of the shoulder, got away from Kent. Played forward, Goldson in there strongly. Rangers win it back with Barisic. Goldson chipping it over the top. Again, the outlet is Ryan Kent on the left-hand touchline. Kamara very quickly in support for him, and then he's caught off the ball. Hand of apology from Knauf. Kamara gets back to his feet. Rangers still in possession. Going backwards to come forwards again. Goldson into the feet of Wright. Lovely turn from Wright, trying to get away from the challenger. Rebound! Just wide. Good strike. Got it onto his left foot. And the referee will now come back and revisit the earlier challenge which came in. It was a really poor one in the midfield. Wright dropping his shoulders. A lovely turn from him. He did get caught. And the referee's just going to ascertain whether he's okay and whether he needs any treatment, but it was a poor challenge.
Yeah, it's a great pass from Goldson into Wright. He gets turned and plays it into Aribo, but it just goes wide of the post. But that's what Rangers have to do, because Wright and Kent play so high. It allows them Frankfurt to go back as a 5, and it's important that Tavernier and Barisic on the opposite side are the out ball, and they're the ones that can give it, because at times Ndeke and Toure, they won't want to go in midfield with Wright. That's twice now that Ndeke's went too close to Wright and he's turned him and managed to get a pass away, and also been able to turn him earlier in the match.
Well, we're having another cooling break now. Had one very early in the game when Roda had his injury, and just having another one now as well. This one a premeditated one, just past the 25-minute stage of this second half. You're with TalkSport, and it is Eintracht Frankfurt 0, Rangers 0 in the 2022 Europa League final. What's your biggest reservation so far, Charlie? What have been the encouraging signs? What are you most worried about from a Rangers perspective?
Well, I think that Barisic has got to get closer. You know, he's allowing too much time and space on that opposite side, and Rangers obviously are a wee bit short in that wide area, as in that, you know, the Kostic and not forgetting a lot of the ball. But Rangers need to just take their time, you know, not force that long pass all the time, because they're getting that space and time when Lundstrom drops into the middle of the back 3, and he can get on the ball and progress up the pitch that way.
Charlie's on breakfast tomorrow morning with Ali McCoist.
Maybe, if Ali appeals.
I think their mood will very greatly be decided by what's coming up over the next hour or so, and not just theirs. How will Big Al be tomorrow morning? It's going to be an interesting listen between 6 and 10. Alan Brazil and Ray Parler, Charlie, Ali McCoist and Alan Stubbs all on the show. And then Jim White, who's another who will be kicking every ball from in here at the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan as we speak. He's downstairs somewhere.
In hospitality.
I wonder where you go. He could be in hospital by the end of the night, because he's bitten all his fingernails. So far, kind of so good as far as Rangers are concerned. But Jim, live from Spain with Simon Jordan tomorrow between 10 and 1. Live over on TalkSport 2 right now. It is the second leg of that playoff semi-final in League 2. And it is 1-0 to Mansfield, who are 3-1 up on aggregate. That game continues for you right now over on TalkSport 2. They're just coming up for half-time. After the drinks break, play has resumed here. And Rangers have given a soft free kick away for a shove from Bassi right in front of the referee. And it's an opportunity for Eintracht to get the ball forward.
Yeah, no, this Kostic here over the ball, left foot. A little bit of a good line from Rangers here, organising well.
Yeah, that line is 6 yards outside the penalty area. This Kostic clipping it forward, and Bassi came back, watched the markers, and got the last touch. Just came off his shins. He's claiming he's been pushed.
No, it's never a push. That's a wonderful ball. It's just into a brilliant area where he can't, the goalkeeper can't come for it. He's going facing his own goal, and he's hoping to try and shield it out, but he doesn't. It comes off his right leg and ends up going out for a corner.
And he had to do brilliantly there, Bassi, to take the pace off it as the ball came to him, because had he not been able to do that, could easily have flown off his shin into the net for an own goal. Great delivery from Kostic. The corner is cleared. It was Tavernier with it, back in from Lindstrom, and that one cleared as well. And Rangers survive, but still the better opportunities being created by Eintracht Frankfurt at the moment. 0-0. So, launches it long. Barisic might have been able to turn a header back to his own goalkeeper, try to get it upfield, then a snapshot comes in and just goes onto the roof of the net. That was a really good attempt from Kostic, who hadn't got back to this left-hand side after that previous corner, and he came down to him on his left foot. He was 25 yards out, not a great angle, and he's put it about a yard wide and maybe a foot high.
Yeah, no, it's Barisic there, poor header out, and he has time to actually maybe take it down or go back to the goalkeeper. He rushes it and it drops to Kostic, and it's a fair effort from there, just over the bar.
Some player, Kostic, a real danger man. He scored twice in the 3-2 win at Barcelona, amongst the 7 goals that the Serbian international scored this season. And his set pieces really are a fantastic weapon. Rangers will try and bring it forward. Kamara goes to the ground, fouled by Roda, and a free kick, which Rangers will take 10-12 yards inside the Eintracht Frankfurt half, and now an opportunity for Rangers to get the big guns forward.
Yeah, no, this is a great position for Barisic, similar to Kostic. It's a good area for him. It looks like Frankfurt are probably defending a little bit deeper than what Rangers are, but Barisic's got a wonderful left foot, and if he could just put it in between that penalty spot and the edge of the box, it's a good area for the goalkeeper not to be able to come for it.
So Lundstrom's at the far post, Goldson is in there as well. It is hit in pretty deep, headed away easily by Ndicka, back in from Tavernier, but not to good effect. He's just headed it to his right hand side, and the counter attack is on here. Real danger. Kostic makes his way forward and goes for goal, fires across the face of goal and wide, and Rangers again have been led off.
Yeah, poor header from Tavernier, but what a run by Kostic. He runs 60, 70, 80 yards up the pitch, full pace. Tavernier struggles to get back with him, and he just sort of drags his shot wide of Almagreo's left-hand post.
Rangers fans again supporting their team with the Viking clap, hands out above heads. Wonderful noise. Great showpiece occasion for both of these clubs, for whom it means so much. This a trophy that has been maligned in the past. Sometimes the side that wins it feels like a consolation prize. Listen, let me tell you, whoever wins this will milk it, and rightly so. Eintracht, if they were to win it, would get them into the Champions League. They haven't played a European Cup tie since the 1960 final. It means so much for them, just as much as it will mean for Rangers if they, in turn, can get there. But that's all still to come. What about next season? It's about winning this one first. 32 minutes gone, 0-0. Ball played for by Tavernier. And Rebo tried to make life difficult, and he wins a throw which will be taken by the Rangers captain on this right flank near the edge of the Eintracht penalty area. So 2 balls thrown to him just for a moment, and he's chosen the one that he wants. Throws it back towards halfway. Goldson goes square to his left-hand side. Brought under control by Bassi. Long left-footed down towards the right-hand touchline. Tavernier the target again. Kostic beating him, and it goes out of play for a throw that'll be taken on the Rangers' right, level with the edge of the Eintracht box this time. Still 0-0 with 12 minutes to go to the break, but probably 3 or 4 minutes to be added on. Goldson to Bassi inside the centre circle. Bassi, Kamara just trying to draw Toure out of position. Out towards Barisic. Kamara's continued his run down the left-hand side, but Toure got there first and just nudges it away from Kamara and out of play for a throw, which Barisic will launch inside the penalty area.
Yeah, that's the pass. Bassi trying to go long over to Tavernier. That's the pass to try and get in between Roda and So. If you can get to the left shoulders or right shoulders of them and get a spare Kamara and Lundstrom or Jack getting in their position, you're going to cause them all sorts of problems.
Aribo trying to help it on from the throw. Roda is in there battling, comes out for right, off balance, finds Tavernier, just slightly under-hit the pass, and that allowed Kostic the opportunity to get it away, and that's becoming an increasingly influential battle now on this near touchline, the one that we're expecting could be one of the keys to the game. Tavernier against Kostic. Ball cleared awkwardly by Ndicka. Rangers are claiming that it should be a free kick for a handball. Certainly wasn't any intent from him. The ball hit his right foot, came up and hit his hand. It would have been a harsh free kick against him, but his lack of control is rightfully penalised, with Rangers winning their first corner 10 minutes to go to half-time. Tavernier's going to take it. Swing it in from the Rangers' right. Lundstrom stands on the edge of the box. Goldson is there. Kamara is there. Aribo on the penalty spot. He makes his way forward towards the edge of the 6-yard box. So much air underneath it. Off balance, Lundstrom can get his head to it and only divert it back out towards the left flank. Kent trying to take on his man has won another free kick and a chance to swing it in from only a couple of yards from the left-hand touchline, about 10-12 yards from the corner flag. This is a really good position after the foul by So.
Yeah, no, it's a poor corner. Tavernier. He needs to take a little bit of air off it, but got himself in a good position there. Kent gets fouled. And hopefully Barisic over the ball, good left foot, hopefully put it into, let's say, just in front of that 6-yard box.
It's a 2 in the wall, which stands on the edge of the penalty area, on the left-hand edge of the box, as Barisic prepares to swing this in. Goldson and Aribo, the two Rangers players closest to goal. Lundstrom in the far post area. Wright is in there as well. Goldson makes a near post run. It's over him. Lundstrom with a header tipped over the bar. Rangers' best moment of the night. Didn't quite get the power in it, but it still needed saving by Kevin Trapp, and Rangers get another corner.
Yeah, no, good ball from Barisic into the deep area, and Lundstrom just couldn't get a good header on it. It was loopy, and the goalkeeper Trapp sticks over the bar, but Tavernier is free around the back of that set play there.
Tavernier will take this second Rangers corner. And again, plenty of air underneath it. Better delivery. Didn't find Lundstrom. Headed away by Ndicka. And Kent goes back for Bassi. Bassi now to Jack, who will chip it down the right-hand side. Tavernier chasing after it. Then Kostic thought he was going to be able to easily shepherd it over the line. And Tavernier tried to win it. It's just caught Kostic. Genuine attempt to win the ball, but he's caught his man. He sportingly leans over to apologise and help him back to his feet. And it's going to be a free kick to Eintracht Frankfurt on their left-hand side, which they'll take only about 10 yards from their own corner flag. 0-0 under darkening skies here in Seville. And Kevin Trapp, former PSG goalkeeper, just brings the ball in field 2 or 3 yards before preparing to launch this long. He's in fluorescent orange tonight. McGregor away to our left in all yellow. He's had to make the one significant save of the night so far, tipping an effort from Knauf round the post. Free kick is taken. Rangers win the second ball in the midfield. Guided on by Kent. Aribo going up for it. Roda is there, chests it down and then volleys it back to his goalkeeper. A night of few real concrete goal-scoring opportunities so far in the 2022 Europa League final.
It's been a little bit scrappy, isn't it? You know, nobody really getting a grip of the game at the moment. It's, but you know, it'll take time. It's obviously the heat and the pressures of playing this Europa League final is obviously maybe taking its toll a little bit on people, but It's 0-0 at the moment, and like I said, not been many chances, but Frankfurt have looked dangerous going forward at times.
Yeah, 0-0, and completely understandable that it is. Rangers, the first side ever to get to the final, having lost their first 2 games. Despite those defeats, still qualified out of the group with a match to spare. And then had that wonderful journey, beating Dortmund and Red Star and Braga and Leipzig. And there's just one more name to try and add to the list. 0-0 at the moment. Ball played for by McGregor from a free kick. Knocked down towards Wright. Wright drops his shoulder, gets towards the byline as he won another corner. Now the clearance from Ndicka is kept in. Wright has it. He's got Tuta's arms around him, and Tuta diverts it off the field of play and out for a throw that will be taken by Tavernier pretty much from the corner flag. 6 minutes to go to half time, and the last 5 or 6 minutes have been concentrated pretty much away to our right hand side at the end of the ground that houses the Frankfurt fans. The Rangers kicking from left to right in this first half and defending the end of the ground that is singing in predominantly Glaswegian accents, not exclusively Glaswegian accents though. Adrian was telling you earlier about the flags that are there from Birmingham, from Luxembourg, Polmont, all over the place, from Scotland and further afield as well. The support has been sensational. Ball forward from Goldson. That's not sensational. Over Tavernier's head, straight out of play, and it's a throw which will be taken on the Eintracht Frankfurt left. Yeah, who's the happier at 0-0?
I think Rangers will be happy. I don't think Rangers have got going yet. I think they're trying to play too long, as in long balls into Tavernier and into Aribo. It's important that, let's keep saying, keep it short and allow your team to progress up the pitch, because Kent and Wright can find great spaces between the two centre midfielders, and if you get that and get turned, that's where the 2 opportunities have come. Wright's managed to get turned twice into Aribo, shot, and so I look to try and build the game a little bit shorter than going long all the time.
Now Tavernier has won a free kick here, which he stands over, and Lundstrom and Goldson again have made their ways forward. Aribo, a darting run from the edge of the D, right-footed away swinging delivery, beats everybody. Lundstrom was the target. It's going to be picked up by Kent after it's gone out of play for a throw that Ryan Kent takes very quickly. Back for Barisic. Barisic to Jack. Jack much nearer the halfway line than the edge of the penalty area. He goes back further still for Goldson inside his own half as he exchanges passes with Bassi. Now out towards Barisic. Barisic playing between the lines to get it in towards Aribo. Poor defensive header from number 18, drops straight for the other. Toure finding Kamara, and Rangers have been able to keep possession easily here. Goldson bringing forward through the centre circle again to Lundstrom. Lundstrom down towards the right hand side for Tavernier. Kostic comes to engage, goes back for Lundstrom again. Lundstrom to Goldson. Now to Bassi. Bassi to Barisic, just 5-6 yards inside the Eintracht half. And Rangers working back inside their own half. It's just an exercise in keeping possession at the moment, trying to get a few miles into the legs of those Eintracht players. Now Lundstrom will mix it up and go for the long left-footed Hollywood ball out towards the far side. Well, he didn't find his man, but the poor defensive header from Nauf will fall for Barisic. Barisic forward towards Aribo. No foul on him inside the penalty area. It was a shoulder charge. Tuta disdainfully waves him back to his feet, and referee Vincic agrees. No penalty.
No, it wasn't a penalty, but it's good play from Rangers. Build up, take your time, composure. Lundstrom coming out to this right back position, back into Goldson, Tavernier, Bassi, and just recycling the ball at a pace that you just keep working this Frankfurt team and getting them out of position, dragging them. And it's a good bad ball from John Lundstrom with his left foot. The defender Toure has to make a decision. Poor header, and all of a sudden it drops to Ken. But Barisic's got to do better with that ball into Aribo's feet.
Those are the thoughts of Charlie Adam with us tonight, part of the TalkSport commentary team. 43 gone, 0-0 between Eintracht and Rangers. And the ball worked forward again. Goldson heading it away towards halfway, but Lindstrom, who's just faded out of the game recently, just played a poor pass down towards the right. He's had a couple of inspired moments. Tavernier Didn't fancy him having another one and has wrestled him to the ground. Play goes on. Kamada, the Japanese international, can't get himself into a shooting position. Works it wide towards Nauf. Nauf fires it in, right-footed, hits Barisic, goes out of play for another Eintracht corner. Lindstrom still not back on his feet yet. Right in front of the fourth official in front of us, Sergeant Jovanovic. And Lindstrom, to the boos and disdain of the Rangers fans, only now gets back to his feet. He's trying to make the most of that, claiming that it was a serious injury inflicted by Tavernier, but his side have got a corner.
Yeah, no, it's a foul, and it's probably a booking as well. Tavernier just taking too much time on the ball and not getting his body in the right position.
In comes the corner, Eintracht's third. Bravely headed away under duress by Bassett. He just ducked his head in there as the boots were flying, and he's got it upfield. So, to Roda near the edge of the centre circle, plays it out towards the right for Torre, and Torre will take a touch and then play it further down the right flank for Kostic, who's still over there from that last set piece. Now Kamada, dark-haired Japanese international, playing it to his right. Work forward, the return pass from Torre was overhit. Kamada just laying it back and then immediately spinning and trying to make a run between Bassi and Barisic, but pass went way past him far too quickly, and it goes through for Alan McGregor. It's 0-0 coming up to half-time.
Yeah, no, I think Rangers will be comfortable. I feel very happy with what they've done. Limited Frankfurt to not too much. So, no, if they can get to half-time, they'll regroup and come out second half shooting towards their own fans.
Long ball is launched forward towards Aribo and headed away. I've seen a lot of Aribo first hand. Where do you think his best position is?
I think he could play as an 8 position or off a right hand side of midfield, where he can go and, like you say, go and pick up the space and pockets where I think Wright and Kent could cause Frankfurt a lot of problems. But he obviously deployed as a central striker tonight, which he done very well against Leipzig in the first half before coming off at half time.
Well, we're in 6 minutes of added time at the end of this first half. There was the lengthy treatment for Roda's head injury, and then we had the drinks break as well, so an additional 6 minutes being played, and we're midway through the first of those 6, with the ball at the feet of Alan McGregor on the edge of his own penalty area, and he sends a long right-footed ball forward. Going up for it, it's Kostic, but his header's not the best. Jack can help it on. It's cleared by Torre, back from Goldson. So losing out in the midfield. Aribo trying to turn, takes it down towards the touchline. Just looks as though he's going to lose his balance for a moment. In doing so, he effectively sold a dummy to 2 players. Now he gets it back towards the byline. Can he get the cross in? Pulled back, cleverly left. Right-footed effort just over the bar. Really well struck by Jack as Kent had found him. But he just leant back a little bit, and he clears Kevin Trapp's bar by about 18 inches.
Brilliant play from Aribo. Great technical skill in a tight area, gets his body in, just toe pokes it through to Kent. They get 1v1, comes back to Ryan Jack, and he's got to at least hit the target from that position. It just goes over Trapp's crossbar.
Ryan Jack, who's missed the last 3 games in all competitions because of an ankle problem, only scored once in nearly 60 European ties for Rangers, which was a match against St Joseph Gibraltar a few seasons ago. Lindstrom playing it in. Kamada got the top of his head to it, but the cross was overhit. It was still full for Kostic. He rifles it back in. Boy, does he get a good shape and pace on those left-footed crosses, but Rangers have repelled them all so far. This latest one going out of play for a throw that Kostic himself will take.
It's great play from Lundstrom. As soon as he realised that Kent's against Kostic, he dropped into that centre-back position and he clears it away from the front post.
Boré down by the corner flag. Goes back towards Kostic. Kostic keeping it in, just back for So to Tutor as the deepest of the Eintracht Frankfurt players, the deepest of the outfield players, just on the centre spot as he received the ball. Now it's played to the left for So to Roda with a big white bandage still around his head, out towards the right hand side for Nauf, who's had some good moments pushing forward against Barisic. He'll take him on again. Barisic just caught him as Nauf trying to get it away. Referee said play on. Tudor will bring it forward. Opportunity for Lindstrom to try and turn in the midfield. So will pick it up. Kostic immediately peels away to the Eintracht left. So will go back the other way for Roda. Rangers just having to hang in there a little bit after 5 minutes of good possession. Now it's Eintracht that are on the front foot coming up towards half-time. We've got 3 minutes of stoppage time to go. But a free kick has been given for a foul on Glenn Kamara just outside Rangers' own penalty area, and that'll run a few more seconds off the clock. Nearly half-time, still 0-0.
It comes from Barisic not wanting to engage the winger. If he engages the winger, then he doesn't allow, he doesn't put himself under pressure by allowing him cross into the box. If he gets closer and tighter, then he can actually affect the game. At the moment, he's not affecting the game. He's not affecting what Nuff does because he's giving him too much time and space. Yeah, he's got a bit of pace and he might be able to run him back, but go and get closer and put your opponent under pressure.
McGregor takes the free kick, launched long. Aribo winning in the air, trying to steer it down for Ryan. Kent has missed him, and it goes out for a throw which will be taken on the Seville right. On the Eintracht right, here in Seville, you know what I mean. Seeing the side in white playing here, the old habits die hard. On the Eintracht right. And they've taken that throw and worked it back through the midfield, and it comes down to the other side of the back line for Ndicka. Left-footed ball spun down towards Kostic. Kostic chasing after it. Tavernier got there first. Heads it off the island and out of play for a throw with 90 seconds to go to half-time. Throw taken quickly by Kostic. Good movement from Boré. And Boré, has he won the corner off Goldson? Yes, he has. Goldson just claiming there's a little double ricochet there, but the referee didn't see the second touch if there was one, and it's another chance for Kostic to deliver from the Eintracht left.
He's had some good deliveries from set play so far, and now it's an opportunity, outswinging corner. Rangers have to defend as well if they can just get to half-time, minute and a half to go.
Very deep past the penalty spot, headed away well by Goldson, and then won back brilliantly by Kent, and the counter-attack could be on, or at least it could have been if it had been a better ball out towards Jack, but Lindstrom read it and he's able to work it back for Eintracht, back to their goalkeeper. And just for a moment it was a promising situation, albeit 70 yards from goal. They had a 2 against 2. Eintracht have it again. Another ball play forward towards Boré. That one easily dealt with by Goldson. And then Aribo just plays the way that he's facing and works it back for Tavernier. Tavernier punts it forward, trying to turn the Eintracht back line. Wright chased after it manfully. He was never favourite to get there, but just his mere presence has forced Tuta to clear his lines and put it out of play for a throw that will be taken on the Rangers right. This will be the last attack of the first half.
Even though Tavernier puts up the park and makes them defend, it would have been easier for Wright just to leave it, but he puts them under pressure and gets Rangers up the pitch and throw in a good territory to look forward and put pressure on Frankfurt.
Lundstrom goes back for Goldson. Bassi to Barisic, and the referee looks at his watch. The 6 minutes all but up, and Bassi will have the last touch of the first half, just driving it forward into space, and the referee says that'll do. They'll turn around at 0-0. Alan McGregor's been the busier of the two goalkeepers. He's made the one really excellent save so far tonight. Eintracht with the better opportunities, Rangers more than hanging in there. They've had the majority of possession in the first half, and still everything to play for in the Europa League final. At the break, it is Eintracht 0, Rangers 0.
Jim, thanks very much. There have been some great battles in sport over the years, over the decades. I've got to say, Kostic, Tavernier tonight is enthralling. It's absolutely fascinating. We'll get onto that in a moment, Charlie Adam, but what a first half. There's a big incident really early on in the game, and I've been flicking through social media while you and Jim have been concentrating on the commentating, and there's a big view that John Lundstrom possibly should have been sent off in the incident where his studs drew blood off Roda's head early on. If you have a look at it, his foot is very high, Lundstrom. It draws blood off the head, and I think he didn't even get booked for it, Lundstrom. I don't want him sent off, let's get this straight, but I think he's a lucky boy there.
Yeah, but sometimes you need things to go for you. Maybe VAR's not working tonight, but no, listen, to see it again, it's easy when it's slowed down to think, it was a red card. It was quick, it was probably just a slight little touch of the stud, but I think a yellow card probably would have been a good decision from the referee, but he wants it to flow, and he has tried to let it flow at times, but no, I think when you slow it down, it looks worse than what it actually was.
A little bit of a lucky boy, but you're right, the referee has been consistent. He's consistently let things go, trying to let the game flow, and I think that was so early in the game. It is one of those where you think, well, he probably at least should have had a yellow, but he's just let it go and been more concerned with the player getting treatment So Lundstrom's got away with that one. Listen, Frankfurt have been on top, and this guy Kostic up against Tavernier. I mean, Tavernier's not been able to play his normal game. He's been, by his standards, he's barely been over the halfway line, hasn't he?
Yeah, but listen, just, you know, Rangers have had a lot of the ball there. 59% of possession in the first half. So, you know, we're saying that Frankfurt have been on top. Rangers have had a lot of the ball, but what I'm saying is when Frankfurt actually have the ball, they've caused Rangers problems in good areas. Kostic, you know, I think he's probably been the standout player so far with his delivery and his pace, and he's obviously, like I say, in the press conference before, we were talking about the duel that he had yesterday, and Tavernier said that he would try and play his own game and try and enhance his own performance to take Kostic the other way. But Kostic has been taking him that way, and that's not good for Rangers. Rangers need to try and get Tavernier forward because he's got good quality and he can get a goal as well.
Well, he was coming off the field at half-time, Tavernier, thinking, oh, that's why they asked me about Kostic in the press conference yesterday, like you didn't know already. But listen, Frankfurt have been on top. A great save from Alan McGregor. Again, I looked at you. Every single Rangers game, in your head, you're thinking there's going to be at least one moment Alan McGregor saves Rangers.
Yeah, he does, and you know, to still be playing at this level at 40 years of age is incredible, and you know, he's in terrific shape, but he's a top goalkeeper, and that's what the big goalkeepers do. When your team's under pressure, they need to pull big saves, and that was a good save from Nuff, just cutting up on that left hand side.
I've got to say as well, I think Rangers grew into the game. In fact, their fans grew into the game as well. There was an incident early on with the fans while you're commentating on the game. The noise from the Frankfurt fans was phenomenal, but there was an incredible top tier, bottom tier choreography of flag waving from the Frankfurt fans, and I've never seen anything like it. The bottom tier was singing a song, waving their flags, and when they'd finished their little section, top tier waved their flag, singing the song, and it went for about 10-15 minutes. It was incredible to witness. But then the Rangers fans, it kind of silenced them a little bit, but after half an hour they got going, and actually Rangers started playing some good football then, and I'm hoping that they're going to grow into the second half in the same way. The incident towards the end where Ryan Jack puts it over the bar, terrific work from Aribo. I think it was Tavernier with a dummy to allow it to go to Ryan Jack. He's got to hit the target there, but it's great football from Rangers.
Yeah, it was, and that's the thing. That's what, you know, moments like that, that's what get the Rangers fans on. They will be a little bit nervous because of Frankfurt maybe have a, you know, good opportunity there with McGregor saving things like that. But as like you said, they've grown into the game. The supporters have grown into the game, and like I say, little incidents like, you know, Jack's shot over the bar or Lundstrom's header that the goalkeeper tips over. That's when the confidence of the supporters grow, and the players will grow from that as well.
Yeah, and Aribo had one as well. The curler just the wrong side of the post. I think he was frustrated with himself because he's not really under any kind of challenge. There was a foul on Scott Wright. Just before that, he was down. I think a lot of players thought he's going to get treatment. Aribo just carried on, and he curled it just wide. But it was good football. He probably, again, should have hit the target. Now, we know that Alex Crook and Jim White are in the stadium. Let's check in with them, get the half-time view from Crookie and White.
Oh, Adrian, I tell you, it's been tense down here with the Rangers fans watching that first half. If Jim White didn't have grey hair already, he probably will have done after that. Jim, what did you make of it?
Oh wow, tense is absolutely right, Alex. I mean, it's been nervy, hasn't it? Very few chances. Alan McGregor had one save to make. The German goalkeeper traps done next to nothing. Lundstrom might have done something with a header. Ryan Jack towards the end of the first half. But it is oh so tense. And to be honest, the supporters have really shone in that first half for me. I'm watching Rangers fans trying to lift their side every chance they get, and of course the Germans are trying to do the same for Eintracht Frankfurt. But it's so nervy, it's so tense, it's a final, and this is what it's all about. They can't let go, either of them.
Has it been a bit safe from Rangers? Could they be a bit braver in possession?
Yes, I think so. And when they have possession, keep possession. You know, they give it away cheaply. And obviously it's a final, there's so much at stake, you can understand it. But when you get possession, hold on to it. Ryan Kent there at the end of the first half, there was a breakaway and he could have done something better with a better pass, better distribution. It didn't happen. But it's goalless. It's goalless, Alex, and that means that Rangers are still in it.
Very quickly, when will we see Kemar Roof, you think?
Soon. I would have thought maybe 15-20 minutes into this, maybe not that long. Maybe Van Bronckhorst might want to change it now, but it's anybody's at 0-0.
That 2-0 prediction still on?
Still alive, isn't it? Still alive, one can hope.
There you go, Adrian, still alive, the words of Jim White at half-time down here with the Rangers fans.
Thanks, you two. Fantastic stuff. And I think Jim's absolutely nailed it. The fans have been best player in the stadium in that first half. Both sets of fans have been absolutely magnificent from start to finish of that first half. Players now have got a lift. It'll be interesting to see what Gio van Bronckhorst does at half-time, if anything. I personally think he'll be happy with things at the moment. He won't want to go too risky. We'll get Charlie Adams' view very shortly. It is goalless in the Europa League final, live on TalkSport.
Game day is back, and as TalkSport gears up to bring you another blistering Saturday afternoon Premier League experience, Game Day's official betting partner, Betfair, is also back to make sure you've got all the odds at your fingertips. Get all the fever pitch build-up and exclusive live commentary.
What a goal!
This Saturday on Game Day on TalkSport with Betfair.
You can get a £2 free bet when you bet £10 worth of Accas or Bet Builders with Betfair's daily rewards. Minimum odds and conditions apply. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Get set for a sizzling summer with over £50,000 worth of garden party prizes up for grabs in the latest competition from CEF. Buy any Skolmore Click, ESP, Ovia or Unicrim products and you could win a hot tub, a pub shed or an outdoor TV. For full details, pick up the new CEF trade catalogue from your local store or go to cef.co.uk to get your copy. CEF, your electrical experts.
All new Lexus NX feels like nothing that came before. With beautifully bold styling, a masterfully crafted interior, and an exhilarating ride. Feel more in every moment with the all-new Lexus NX self-charging or plug-in hybrid. Book your test drive today at lexus.co.uk.
The ground's been prepped. The crowds are ready. The team's just moments away from all the landscaping action at Jewson. Even after 5 decades in the business, there's no sound like that. The sound of quality, technique, absolute confidence. The sound of Indian sandstone paving beneath your feet. And Jewson's got the goods for $29.99 per square metre. Search Jewson Landscaping. Trade price excludes 20% VAT.
A traffic update for all late-night travellers. There are delays outside getting to bed due to a hold-up at Grand's Never-Ending Stories. Please take the diversion via Mayo Chicken or a warming latte, which will see you home.
Plenty of McDonald's restaurants are open late tonight. See mcdonalds.com for opening times.
Next customer, please. Guess what? I got paid more this month. That's because from the 1st of April, the national living wage and the national minimum wage both went up. The extra money is helpful, especially these days. Make sure you get paid the right amount. You can check your pay and find out more at gov.uk/checkyourpay. It's your right. And the law.
The season may have started in August, but it's made for May. Made for one more unexpected twist and one final turn. And it's made for the very best offers from 888 Sport. Like the £5 free bets you'll get when you bet £20 within a week on accumulators or bet builders with 888 Sport's ACCA Club. Available every week. 888 Sport. It's made to play. 18 plus. For full terms and conditions, visit 888sport.com, BeGambleAware.org.
Saturday afternoon.
The League One playoff final, live.
High intensity, expressive football.
And he smashes the ball high into the roof of the net.
Sunderland versus Wycombe Wanderers.
Coverage from 2, kick-off 3 p.m.
Saturday afternoon.
On TalkSport.
No one else brings you more. Winner takes it all.
On TalkSport.
Powered by fans. On AM, on DAB, on the app, and on your smart speaker.
The UEFA Europa League final. Rangers versus Eintracht Frankfurt. Live on TalkSport.
Richarlison moving towards the edge of the area. It won't be showing for him. Wins it, lays it back. Gordon with a strike. It's there! And Everton have the lead.
Zaha's continued down the left-hand side and Eze's found him. Gets to the byline. Pulls it back. Mateta! Fantastic Crystal Palace goal. Werner inside the Odes. Mason Mount. It is 2-0 Chelsea.
And now Dewsbury Hall. Here's ball across goal. Parried by Gunn out to Maddison. He tucks it home.
Cash in the area. He's got a lot of space. He's taking the ball down onto his left foot. Slams it in.
and Matty Cash scores a second goal for Aston Villa.
Here is McNeil, edge of the area, neat turn, goes for the goal!
My
What
goodness.
a goal it is from Dwight McNeil! It's a wonderful strike for Burnley.
Well, live and exclusive on TalkSport tomorrow night, Aston Villa against Burnley. Hugh Wozencroft will be hosting the show. He'll be at Everton against Palace, another big game down at the bottom. Commentary at Villa Park from Sam Matchface and the former Burnley striker Chris Ewelamo. Also updates of Chelsea-Leicester tomorrow night. Big night in the Premier League. We've got it covered on TalkSport. On TalkSport 2 tomorrow night, it's League 2 playoff action. Port Vale trail 2-1 against Swindon heading into the second leg. The second leg of the other League 2 playoff semi is ongoing right now. Northampton 0, Mansfield 1 live on TalkSport 2. For any Celtic fans who can't bear this final on TalkSport, Mansfield 3-1 up on aggregate. Saturday I'll be back at Wembley for playoff final coverage and commentary from League 1. Sunderland face Wickham for the right to get promotion to the Championship. Dan Windle and Ian Holloway will be live from Wembley Box Park from midday ahead of that one, and we'll take you inside the stadium from 2 for commentary of the game. Also, we'll update you from the Scottish Cup final as well. Rangers in another one as they take on Hearts, who had a decent season but were beaten by Rangers B team last week on the final day of the regular Scottish Premiership season. And one of your favourites on TalkSport is Gabby Agbonlahor. He's done a Europa League quiz over on the TalkSport Edge app, and he did all right, actually. I watched it earlier, so download the TalkSport Edge app, give it a go. He's also predicted a 2-1 win for Rangers tonight, and that is still on. Gabby is on TalkSport Breakfast tomorrow with Alan Brazil and Ali McCoy's. Charlie Adam will be a guest on that as well, and Charlie's thrown his eyes to heaven. He's thinking, I've got to get up early. Well, here's news. I'll be on the early breakfast with Paul Coytes from 5 a.m. So I was the one with the short straw, Charlie.
Getting in at 4.
It will be something. There may be yet another night this week without sleep. But there you go. We'll look forward to it. As the Frankfurt subs come out to warm up, the players will be on their way out very shortly. What Jim White was saying about get Kemar Rofe on now, possibly, or leave it 15-20 minutes and then get him on. What do you think, Charlie?
No, I think they'll leave it as, probably 60-65 minutes. Trying, because if he's fully fit, I think he would have started. So I don't think he's fully fit, and they also have to think about extra time possibly as well. So it's how much they can get out of him without reoccurring the injury or having a setback, because they'll not want to bring him on and have to take him off again. So it might be late in the game. Scott Arfield might come on as well to bring energy and to be able to run in between that Frankfurt defence.
To that end, do you think that maybe it might be Sakala who would come on as the first of them?
Possibly, yes, to try and stretch this Frankfurt team, to try and get the space for Wright and Kent to drop in. If he's stretching the game away, and the defence of Tuta and Dickey and Toure, if he can run them the other way, and could allow Kent and Wright maybe to come and play in the little pockets to get turned and get shots and opportunities.
Well, just looking at the fans, the Rangers fans still in good spirits. I mean, the worst case scenario is that you go 2-0 down early on and it's end game really well. There's none of that. Rangers have shown actually that they can defend, and also, even though you'd say they've been second best despite having more of the possession, you'd say that they have threatened at the other end, and maybe one of those chances goes on target. Who knows if Trapp in the Frankfurt goal would have been able to save it. Rangers still very much in this final, and as we've been saying, there are options off the bench. Aaron Ramsey is there. He's no stranger to big cup final moments. You've got Fashion Sakala, scored a great goal against Celtic in the Old Firm recently. Terrific. Probably should have got a winner, but he hit the post, so he can make a difference. And of course, Kemar Rofe, one of the worst things would be though if you bring him on and then the injury recurs and you have to take him off again. So there's a lot for Gio van Bronckhorst to think about as Rangers come out for this second half. The fans will get themselves going again. That atmosphere will be loud and proud in this stadium for the whole of this second half, and who knows, for extra time as well. As Frankfurt players make their way down the steps along the tunnel, they will be out onto the pitch very shortly for the second half, live here on TalkSport. Rangers players have 45 minutes to add to their legend status. Can they do it? Second half, live on TalkSport with the former Rangers and Scotland midfielder Charlie Adam and your commentator on TalkSport tonight, Jim Proudfoot.
Well, Adrian, there are no changes from Rangers for the second half. 11 that started the game have come back out. Sakala went through a slightly different warm-up routine to the other substitutes during the interval. He's doing some more individual stretching work rather than work with the ball, so I just wonder whether he has had instruction that he's going to be coming on sooner rather than later. But Rangers lining up, McGregor in goal, Tavernier, Goldson, Bassi and Barisic, Lundstrom, Jack and Kamara. Right of Rebo and Kent are the forward three. Eintracht Trapp in goal, Toure, Tuta and Ndika. Now Roda, So and Kostic, Lindstrom and Kamada and Boré up front. And they're just re-emerging now. Looks as though the white bandage on the captain Sebastian Roda's head has been replaced, but there is still another white bandage there as he makes his way on for the second half, and they're not making any changes at this stage either. And away to the right-hand side, the Eintracht Frankfurt supporters in perfect but very blue English make a message towards UEFA by holding up a number of individual letters, getting their message against UEFA across. And there's also a huge pyro display away to our right-hand side. There must be, 30 pyrotechnics in that area, and the smoke from it is going to billow slowly, because it's a pretty still night, from that end of the ground, our right, over towards the left-hand side. And it might be that it's not too long before Alan McGregor has a bit of smoke enveloping his penalty area. We're back underway. Rangers in all blue, and they're kicking from right to left. They're attacking the end of the ground that is a sea of blue away to our left-hand side, attacking their own supporters. Ball is down with Knauf on the Eintracht Frankfurt right. It's just played in towards Kamada. Roda trying to hook it over the top. Goldson is there, just comes across and tracks the run of Boré. Heads it down towards Lundstrom. Lundstrom down for Barisic, whose clearance goes out of play. And it's a throw which will be taken on the Eintracht Frankfurt right-hand side, well inside Rangers half. Alongside me is Charlie Adam.
Yeah, no, good start from Frankfurt again. A little 1-2 there from
Knauf. Roda tries to get Knauf in. Sorry, Charlie, and they get a corner.
Yeah, sorry there. Just great 1-2 there from Lundstrom, and Knauf gets in there in a good corner there. But Barisic has got to again do better. You've got to anticipate that Lundstrom's going to head the ball back to him, and he allows it just to go, and he puts himself and his team under pressure.
So the first corner of the second half, which is the fifth of the game for Eintracht Frankfurt. It's going to be a left-footed in-swing into that smoky penalty area, but it's easily and commandingly headed away by John Lundstrom, whose clearance finds halfway. So is there. He runs around it and lays it back to his goalkeeper, Kevin Trapp. And Trapp will take a touch and then side-foot it forward towards So. Actually miscontrolled an easy pass, but he was just more worried about where the ball was going next. There's no harm done. Tavernier, the ball drifts over his shoulder and he's put under immediate pressure from Lindstrom. He's then forced to clear his lines, and he puts it out of play for a throw to Eintracht.
Yeah, a long ball, but over the head of Tavernier. He's got to probably do better than what he does. Kicks out the pitch, and Rangers have to just try and get a little bit of a grip of the ball again, and use the space and use the time by passing amongst each other.
With TalkSport, it's still 0-0. Tuta firing one in from 40 yards. And McGregor just watched it wide. That's an effort from such long range. If he does it in a training session, McGregor would pick up the ball, boot it somewhere else and get in a run after it. I mean, it was miles away. The cheekiest attempt imaginable from such long distance.
Yeah, no, listen, it's good play. He steps in from centre-back position, goes by, Rebo steps in, and listen, he's worth an effort, but he just drags it by Alan McGregor's right-hand post.
Long clearance from McGregor. It's just taken a touch off the head of Tavernier, goes out of play for a throw. Eintracht take it quickly in behind Tavernier, and coming across the cover is Goldson. And he clears it into one of the Union Jack flags over on the far touchline. Out of play for a throw which will be taken by Eintracht, and Rangers haven't been able to get into opposition territory in the opening stages of this second half. Kamada, the Japanese international, in towards Lindstrom, turns on the edge of the area, shot takes a deflection and spins just wide. McGregor knew he was beaten, and he had enough time to think that he might be about to concede, and he took a nervous look to his right, and he was so relieved that the ball went just the right side of his post.
Oh, it's brilliant play from Boré and Kamada. They 1-2, and
In comes the corner towards the edge of the 6-yard box, and it's cleared. Bit of pushing and shoving going on inside the penalty area. Back it'll come in again, in towards the near post, and Tavernier clears. And it goes out of play for an Eintracht throw. They're on the front foot now.
Yeah, it's a great start from Frankfurt, putting Rangers under pressure, putting the ball in behind. Great 1-2 earlier in their work with Kamada and Bore. And Lundstrom's shot hits off Kamara and goes behind for the corner. But it's been a great start from Frankfurt in the second half.
4 minutes into the second half, it remains 0-0 here on TalkSport Champions League final. A week on Saturday, live from the Stade de France in Saint-Denis in northern Paris. Tonight here in Seville, 0-0 between Eintracht Frankfurt and Rangers. We have the best coverage of the final day of the Premier League season for you as well. Don't forget, tomorrow night live Premier League action. It's a big game down at the bottom of the table. 3 matches taking place tomorrow night. We've got them all covered for you on the TalkSport network. Ball is cleared towards halfway, brought down by Jack forward towards right to Aribo, and Wright will be able to make his way forward again. Good dynamic run, taking on 2 defenders who almost got in each other's way, but Touré's able to clear, and he gets it forward towards halfway. Coming across the cover, it's played back by Bore in behind his teammates and falls straight for Glenn Kamara. Kamara's got it again and chips it right-footed, chested down by Goldson. He can calm things down and will be able to bring it forward. Down the inside right channel is John Lundstrom. Lundstrom out to Tavernier. Tavernier for Aribo to Lundstrom again. And just too much on the ball for. The idea was right, trying to work it down the right-hand side of the penalty area, but he got the angle wrong, and it goes out of play for a goal kick. Tomorrow night, Villa against Burnley, live on TalkSport, with all the news as it happens from Everton Palace and Chelsea Leicester.
Sense a bit of an edge in this with the Rangers supporters. A bit quiet and, just waiting for something to happen instead of, trying to get the last jade. But it was a good play there from Lundstrom and Tavernier. Just overhit the pass, but no, at least they're getting up the pitch and getting forward and trying to create something.
Yeah, there is a tension that is emanating from away to our left-hand side, born of the fact that Eintracht have had 13 attempts to Rangers 3, and that's despite the fact that possession is in Rangers' favour in the mid-50s. But it is Eintracht that have looked the more potent. That said, Rangers have only had the one real scare in each half. McGregor dealing with the first one very effectively, and a little bit of good fortune and a deflection taking care of the second one in this half. Ball's with Jack in the midfield for Rangers. He's played it back for Goldson. Goldson almost exactly midway inside his own half. Down he comes for Bassi. Bassi to Barisic and straight back again. And the Rangers man, wearing 3, takes a touch, drives it forward, trying to get a Rebo in, but a shout from Kevin Trapp, the goalkeeper, to leave it to his centre halves is upheld, and it just drifts over their heads and straight through to the goalkeeper, who will be able to play out from the back.
It's obviously part of the game plan to go a little bit longer for Rangers.
Roda heading it on here. This is dangerous. Bore had Lindstrom in support. Bore couldn't get the ball cleanly, and then Goldson with a challenge, and the referee gives a corner. And Goldson just had a telltale look over his shoulder at the referee there to see what he was going to give. Bore, the man that went down. Goldson now saying he should get a yellow card for diving. Charlie, you're seeing a replay. What do you think?
No, it's a corner kick. There's nothing really much in it. Nah, I don't think there's much in it, is there? It's no penalty. It's no great defending from Goldson. He goes with the wrong foot. But Rangers have got to try and keep the ball a little bit better, find that midfield. Scott Wright's coming into a good position and getting to the opposite side of So, and they're not using that well enough to get into the little pockets that they need to cause Frankfurt problems.
Well, the VAR is having a look at it, and still having a look at it. Paul van Berkel, the Dutch official, is the man who is on VAR duty. And the referee is saying don't take the corner yet. Check is over, and it will be a corner and not a penalty. No surprise from the Frankfurt players. The ball is fired inside the penalty area and dealt with by Aribo, and then So whacks it over the head of Kostic and straight out of play for a Rangers throw, and they could just exhale very sharply, get some air in the lungs, draw breath, gather their thoughts and play out from the back again. It's been a difficult opening 8 minutes in this second half, but it remains most significantly still 0-0.
Yeah, just as that happens, so there it goes, puts out the pitch. I can see the manager of Rangers turning around to the supporters to try and G them up, to get them going, to try and get the fans and to get on the players' side, and because they've been under pressure for the first 8 or 9 minutes of the second half.
Just the one win in Spain in their history of 14 attempts, Rangers, which came East Coast in Barcelona back in 1972, one of the club's most famous of nights. Tavernier playing it forward, good little step over from Kamara. Here's a chance, slice wide, great effort as he came in towards Ryan Kent, and he really should have done better. Lovely step over from Kamara, but that was so much better from Rangers, pushing forward with pace and intent, but Kent couldn't hit the target.
Oh yeah, it's brilliant play from Tavernier to go by Kostic. He plays a great ball in. Kamara probably, if he played it better to Kamara would have probably took it in and had a shot himself, but it goes by a rebound and drops to Kent. He's got to do better. He's got to hit the target on his left side.
Just 3 goals for Ryan Kent this season compared to the 13 that he netted last season, and that was a clear-sighted goal that they haven't been able to take. Hamada, the Japanese number 10, playing it forward to Kostic, who's wearing 10 but playing at left wing back. Re-engages Tavernier. Ball inside the penalty area is comfortably claimed and caught at his near post by McGregor. 10 minutes have gone in the second half here on TalkSport, and now the Rangers fans find their voice away to our left-hand side. McGregor bowling it down for Bassi. Bassi taking a touch back towards McGregor again. Now they reverse things. Back out it goes for Bassi. Bassi going square towards Lundstrom, who's just dropped that a little bit deeper. Goldson, Tavernier. James Tavernier bringing it forward. Just short of 350 games for Rangers now. And then he's given it away as he played it forward looking for Wright, and it's gone straight out of play for a throw. And it has been error-strewn at times, Charlie.
Yeah, he's on the ball. He's been, not been his usual self, but you can never write him off. He always normally pops up by a goal, but Rangers have got to keep using that fullback. Get Lundstrom to keep dropping into the centre back, because then they're getting out with the fullback. Because